It's the NFL on EA Sports, and everyone's eyes goes to Jahmyr Gibbs. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Lions and the Bears on EA Sports.
We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. I'm Brandon Gaudin. He's Charles Davis. Full disclosure, we both have mittens. We both have coats on up here in the booth. This one, it's going to be interesting.
I've got the long johns, the socks, the boots, you name it. You know me in cold weather, we don't get along all that well. But these games are always interesting because you never know how it's going to play out. One slip, someone's going for 80 yards, and you could lose a game.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So the Bears ready to go on offense, and it's the #1 overall pick leading them out, the Heisman Trophy winner from USC, Caleb Williams.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense...
And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Lions will take over. Out come the Lions for their first drive behind their 9th-year quarterback in year number 4 with Detroit. It's Jared Goff.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Now Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. In motion comes the tight end left. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. Back to throw, Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
These two teams, they met at Ford Field earlier this season with the Lions winning that ball game. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Chicago. Gibbs straight ahead.
Room here to run. run. And he takes this all the way down to the Bears' 21-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A shotgun snap for Goff. It's Williams on the catch. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions.
A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Seven 0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 26-yard line.
They'll go again with Herbert.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
You talk about this Lions defense.
They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
It's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that, though. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Goff now to throw. Open man right side is St. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Goff now looking to throw.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
Here's Goff.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
St. Brown motioning left.
Now a play fake, and it's gone.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
That's complete to his running back, Herbert.
And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Hand off right side for Herbert.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And he's putting together a remarkable season, currently the NFL's leader in passing yards as we play here in the month of December.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Here's the former Bear. This is David Montgomery.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. DeMarcus Walker there on the stop.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 5.
In motion, the tight end.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Gone. And that'll be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Badgley able to punch this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes at this point in the season. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now 2nd and 5. To throw is Goff. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a 1st down as well. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
In motion goes the tight end. Goff now looks to throw. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Sam Laporta, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Lions add 6 to their lead. In the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Badgley on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown.
Michael Badgley to kick off for the Lions.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Here we go, shot. I go.
To the air, Williams.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
There's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense and receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown set to go once more. And he's been a tough guy to contain this year, and his numbers reflect that, as you can see right here.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. 2nd and 10.
Now Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll kick things off in the NFC when the Giants have traveled down south to take on Atlanta. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Darnell Mooney, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. It's Anthony Richardson, the Florida man, with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Puka Nacua, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. The big story thus far has really been the snow. It's made footing treacherous. And if the forecast holds, it's only going to get worse. But I can tell you as a fan, these are the games you love to watch. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these 2 coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Here's Goff. And that is caught downfield by Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A give right side for Gibbs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Out of the gun, Goff. That is caught by Laporta. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
To number 87, Sam Laporta. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. St. Brown motioning left. They'll run with Gibbs. Oh, a good move at the 5. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Gibbs. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Hey, 5.
Goff. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Badgley's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get Keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Throwing is Williams. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
To throw, Williams. He'll get this complete to the rookie from Washington. And he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Johnson. 20. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46. The visitors' offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And you see the numbers for him into this third quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open throughout. The Lions' offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Now Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Now 3rd down and 7. From the 50, it's Goff. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jones on the return. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And Detroit getting set to go now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Back to throw, Goff. And this is caught by Williams. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. I love that play, because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
Hand off to Gibbs, headed right here. He's got it to the 43 here. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. From the 43, here's a 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Now it's Goff. Touchdown! Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Goff and that Lions offense staying on the field. They'll try for 2.
They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Williams. Allen's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now 2nd and 3. Looking to throw is Williams.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
To throw, it's Williams.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st.
From the gun, here's Williams. He'll get that complete to his...
And it's a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point. But being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Goff now looking to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 3. Working out of the gun, Williams.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Back to throw. Williams. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Touchdown, Bears!
Rome Odunze.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Another run for Gibbs here.
Oh, good move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he will have a Lions 1st down, and that's the one that should seal a victory.
And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.
Hand off now to Gibbs.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions.
And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing 2 things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out, like, the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, You didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
So for the Lions,
They are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0.
and they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.